Good evening, or good morning, whatever time of day you listen to this. Welcome. It is me, the one, Philip Clitz. Welcome to the Clitz Conspiracy Podcast, second installment. Haven't got many listeners. Last time I checked, I got one. Most likely my mum. I don't know. We'll see what happens, We'll see what happens. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe a gust of wind, metaphorical gust of wind will push this up and I'll get out there to a lot more people. I hope so. Because I've got a very important message about the occult, about the Illuminati, about the real powers that control our society. And, no one's really taking an interest, So, I'm a bit suspicious. I do think maybe the Illuminati's, cottoned on a little bit to what I'm doing here and suppressed it. So I would not be surprised if those numbers have been suppressed or rerouted the addresses or something. So I won't get as many hits, so my wisdom won't get out there. Well, in either case, welcome to the Clitz Conspiracy. So what have we got this week? This week so last week I was looking at what is the Illuminati. So basically, the basic rundown of the history. Basic rundown of what they do and why they do, So this week I thought I'll focus more on the initiation. So this is to do with how someone becomes an initiate, and how are they selected? Do they select the Illuminati, or is it the other? How does it work? And once they're selected, what do they do? Well, there's an oath involved, and also. And then most importantly, there's a blood sacrifice. And we'll go on to that a little bit later. What else we got? We got a bit of news. The Illuminati plan new Ice Age. Brand new news I've gotten on this from a very credible source, a good friend of mine, who, if you've watched other videos of mine on YouTube, you might know him. I can't reveal his name. I used to refer to him as Mr. X. But I will keep Mr. Dimovitz's name a secret to protect him and his family, his two children who live in Wisconsin right now. And in other news, have the Illuminati fully invented flying carpets? We'll soon find out. Welcome to this episode of The Clitz Conspiracy. Welcome. So, hope you guys have been well. I've been doing dandy this week. What can I say? I mean, as I was saying before, I'm a bit disappointed in the numbers of listeners. I don't know if it's just going to be my mum. Again, if it is just my mum, well, hi mum, how you doing? I think she can hear me in the other room. Ma'am? She can't hear me. It's just the right. I think it's the EastEnders on Coronation Street. I don't know, but she can't. When she's there, when she's in front of the TV and one of the two's on, she's in the zone. I can't get her out of it. But either case, I'm disappointed at the very low numbers of listeners here. But what can I do but moan and whinge? What can I do? There's nothing really I can do but moan and whinge, but hey, what can you do? Well, so what have I been up to this week? What have I done? Well, I don't know. I went to a museum. I went to a couple of museums, but I went really to the British. The main one that I went to, I spent the most time in on Saturday, was the British Museum, and I was just astonished. Completely astonished at all the Illuminati lies that are in the British Museum. I mean, things like, for example, that the Egyptians built the pyramids. I mean, that is hilarious. Okay, every time I read that the Egyptians built the pyramids, I'm like, oh my god, has no one cotton on yet? Has no one found out? But you know, aliens, they were the ones who built it, and you know, you get reams of information about how the Egyptians built them and how mysterious they were and built it. Like the mystery, replace mystery, the word mystery, with aliens, and then you got something, buddy. Then you got the truth. That's what you come here for. That's what you come here for, one listener. For the truth. But yeah, it was nice anyway. It was a nice day out with my mum. She loved it. Oh my god. It was very, I don't know, she loved it. It was a bit disturbing though how much she loved it, because she was very excited by the mummies. She was I've never seen her that excited. I was like, whoa, okay mum. You know, I understand, you know, it's interesting, but, you know, mate, it's a bit morbid how interested you are in death and seeing dead bodies. I mean, and it wasn't just her. That, like, hundreds of people just huddled around this bit of glass to see some dead bodies. It's disgusting. I mean, yeah. But alien technology was impressive back then. I don't know how they did it, but aliens were able to perfect not only the mummification process, but also building sphinxes in the middle of the desert. I mean, you just check out the land there. Any architect, any civil engineer will tell you, building on sand, it must be a bitch. Must be a complete bitch. But, you know, I must desist, you know, I must move on. Anyway, so, this week, Illuminati initiation. So, what is an initiation? Well, not only hillbilly or whatever flip you are can become an Illuminati member, you need certain criteria. And usually what that means is you just have to be rich and famous. However, some people, who we'll get to in a moment, don't actually have to be rich nor famous, or they could be one or two, I don't know. But, well, I do know, but I'm just saying, it's not necessarily rich and famous. It can be rich or famous, or it can just be a guy who knows some certain knowledge. If you've watched the cult classic, The Prisoner, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. People with specific knowledge will become targeted by the Illuminati, and they'll have one or two choices. Either you join them with your secret knowledge and you resist to tell anyone in the world, or you will die, plus your family and your dog. So it's one of those two choices that some people are given. So how does it work? How do you first get in the Illuminati? Well, you're approached, usually by men in dark suited jackets, ties, sunglasses, you know, a bit like, what's that film? A bit like Men in Black, you know. You'll get a couple of geezers, not necessarily Will Smith and the other fella, but you get a couple of guys coming up to you and will approach you. Usually, they try and do it. What I've heard the most is they try and do it in a park. I don't know why, but every initiate story that I've ever read, ever heard about, they've always seemed to do it to these gentlemen or ladies, but it's not usually ladies, it's usually gentlemen. They've usually approached them in the park at night, you know. I don't know why that is, but it's real and it's not cliche. No matter how many times you try and tell me, Jimmy, it's not cliche. Anyway, so they'll approach a gentleman, and the criteria, as I said, would be usually because you're rich or famous, or both, or you have a secret. There was once a man who was initiated into the Illuminati, Jim Davis, and Jim Davis was he was the first man to invent a backwards motorcycle. Now, you might be thinking, who needs a backwards motorcycle? But it turned out that when the engine propelled backwards, it would double the speed of the motorcycle and actually travel faster than a four-wheeled motorcycle. However, being in possession of this knowledge was very threatening to the Illuminati, as they didn't want it to go to any competitors such as China, Russia, or Tanzania. Now, what ended up happening was they took Mr. Jim Davis and they gave him an offer. They said, "Here, look here. You could be one of us, buddy. We can make you rich and famous, or whichever one you want. I don't know, rich and famous, or both, or whatever. Or we can then, or well, not then, but if only you do not reveal your secret patent about how to make a motorcycle go twice as fast and break the sound barrier by travelling backwards." And he said, "Oh, that's fine, but I'm not really on it." And they were like, "Look, mate," they said, look here, Jimmy." They started talking to him, man to man. They were like, "Look here, Jimmy, I'm not going to lie to you. If you don't join us, we are going to kill your whole family." And Jimmy was like, "Look, how am I supposed to know that you're the real deal? You're two strange men in suits coming up to me in the middle of the park, at night while I'm walking my dog. I don't know you. I don't know you from Adam. Who are you?" And they said, "We're the Illuminati." He's like, "I know you said that, but really, how do I know?" So what these two men in black fellas did, they said, "Look here, Jim, follow us. If you're not satisfied that we're in the Illuminati in 10 minutes, then you can go home safely to your family." Jim was like, "Alright, these men seem pretty solid. I mean, they're dressed in suits. Why not give them a shot?" So he goes. He followed them. He goes through the forest in the park, goes through, and he ends up in this small building, secluded building in the middle of the forest. And he goes downstairs and he hears very ominous, very distinct humming, like a choir, like a set of choir boys that have turned 50, and they're all like, very like ominous devil kind of sounding choir boys who are elder men. And he goes down, and he enters this mini hall with many pillars around the edges, and he sees all these men in hooded cloaks. And he walks a bit closer, and all the men stop humming and look at him. And under each cloak is a celebrity. I mean, Jimmy that day, he saw Richard Nixon. This was in the 70s, by the way. He saw Richard Nixon. He saw Billy Connolly. He saw, who else? He saw Jasper Carrot. He saw a plethora of celebrity. And they all, he was stunned, he'd never seen so many celebrities in one room, let alone doing some weird ritualistic shit. So he was taken aback. He was like, "Whoa, what the hell is this?" So he said to them, and he's like, "What the hell is this?" He said, "Billy," to Billy Connolly. He's like, "Billy, what is going on here?" He said, "Don't you know, laddie?" Well, I don't know, that's not really a good impression, but he's like, "Don't you know, let's do my own voice." He said, "Don't you know?" No, wait, I'm doing his voice again. He said, "Don't you know?" I was just going to let's do it in his voice. "Don't you know? This is the Illuminati, lad." And he's like, "No way. I don't believe you, Billy." He said, "You better believe it. And I know what's going on here, Jimmy. You've got a secret. He said, "I do. But I'm not telling any of you assholes. You weirdos." He turns around. He starts walking out the door. Then the two men in black fellas, they're like, "Alright, Jimmy, we'll let you go, yeah? No harm done. Just keep this a secret, yeah?" So Jimmy goes back to his family. 5 months later, he's living his life, yeah? He's finishing off the patent on the motorcycle, on the backwards motorcycle. He gets a knock at the door, or ring on his bell, I don't know, ding dong, whatever. Goes to the door. What does he find? He finds his dog dead on the floor. He looks down. He picks up the dog. He turns it around. There's markings on the dog, and it said on the dog's belly, it said, "The Illuminati did this." Oh, he's shocked at this moment. He's perplexed. He's not perplexed. He's petrified. You know, he wasn't expecting this. So you know, he looks around. There's no one there. He's frightened for his family's life. You know, he's got 2 kids. He's got his wife. He's got his own life to worry about. So he runs, jumps in the car. He knows these are dangerous men. They're all connected people, you know, in that room. He didn't just see celebrities. He saw people in the mob. He saw, you know, real high businessmen, the like, you know. He knew connected men. He doesn't want to mess with this anymore. So he jumps in his car. He drives off. He doesn't even know where he's going. He's just confused. There's a moment of shock. Drives. Gets all the way. He ends up driving all the way to Canada. And in Canada, they stop him at the border. And the man who stops him at the border, he gives him a look up and down. And he's like, "Oh, alright. So you want to go to Canada? What's your reason?" And he says, "Oh, I'm meeting family." He's like, "Alright. Well, so if you could just drive down this road." He points them to another road, not the main road that all the other cars are going. He says, "Go down this road." Jimmy loses it, yeah? He just belts it all the way down. Then 5 police cars stop him from driving. They take him and they put him in the back of a squad car, take him downtown. However, while they're driving there, Jimmy notices that they drive right past the police station. He doesn't know where the hell they're taking him. They take him in the middle of the forest back to this bloody building. He doesn't know how the hell they did it. Apparently, he thinks they did it with teleportation, but they took him back to the original building where he saw Billy Connolly and Richard Nixon in the middle of the forest near his house. So he's back near his house in this building. He goes all the way downstairs, and who's there? The 2 men in black fellas. And they look at him and they're like, Jimmy Davis, did you really think you could get away? Jimmy's just shocked at this moment. So what do? They give him one last chance. They say, "Jimmy, you've seen our strength. You've seen what we can do. We don't want to hurt you. We don't want to hurt you, Jimmy. We just want your secret. We just want your secret, and we want it safe, Jimmy." So Jimmy reluctantly accepts the offer. He becomes one of the Illuminati members. For 30 years, he is an official Illuminati man. So how did it work? Well, firstly, Jimmy Davis had to go through what they call an oath. Now, what did the oath entail? Well, the oath entailed quite a lot of scripture reading and a lot of memorizing. However, the most disgusting part was the moment where Jimmy found out that in order to complete the ceremony, he needed to touch the end of his erect penis. Now, I warn you, if you are squeamish or you don't like any graphic detail, I advise you to skip forward about 2 minutes, because it's going to take a while to describe. The ritual involved Jimmy's erect penis. Now, Jimmy doesn't describe how he became erect in this situation, but he just explains that he was erect. He had to bring out his erect penis, naked phallus, and touch said naked phallus upon another naked phallus, in which the two would then have a sword fight of such with each other until one of the phalli were bruised. Jimmy had to do this with all 56 members of the Illuminati Lodge on that day. Apparently, it took him over 5 hours to complete the ritual of sword fighting penises. And needless to say, his penis didn't recover. You know, it was badly bruised. And he did this all for his family. You know, he was really a dedicated man. He completely convinced them that he was one of them. You know, that he was brainwashed into this New World Order occultist malarkey. He completely convinced them, and he did it all for his family. God bless his soul. God bless his soul. But the part where I have to retract the statement of God bless his soul is in the next portion of his initiation, which is where he did a blood sacrifice. Now, every initiate has to do a blood sacrifice, and Jimmy Davis was no different. The sad thing about Jimmy's story is that, and about many stories of many men in the occult, however, they choose that lifestyle, so I have no real sympathy for them. But the sad thing about Jimmy's story is that they're always not allowed to choose who they have to sacrifice. But Jimmy really loved his family. He did all of this for his family. And, the tragic thing is that the occult, in some demented, thick gratification, I don't know why, maybe they're paying back for going on the run for so long, I don't know, but, they decided to execute his grandmother. Now, his grandmother was 98 years old and was dying of cancer at the time. However, Jimmy said that she had a good few months in her, and he means a good few, like he was saying, maybe 7 or 8 months. And they don't do it in an obvious way. They don't just come up and shoot a guy in the face or something. They wouldn't come to his grandmother's hospital bed and just shoot her in the mouth or get Jimmy to do it. No, so they tampered with the medication she was on, and sadly, his grandmother died at the tender age of 98 from cancer, through complications actually, due to cancer. I think that's the technical term, complications due to cancer. And that was it for Jimmy. I mean, he was distraught when he had to sacrifice his grandmother to fully be accepted into the Illuminati, and he never really forgave him. 20 years down the line, what does he do? Jimmy said, alright, I've had enough. I've had enough of going to these boring ass rituals every Sunday, and like humming and making love to virgins and stuff, and then drinking goat's blood. He got sick of it, so he tried again to drive off to Canada, and from there on, Jimmy started writing books about the Illuminati under a pseudonym. The pseudonym is Jimmy Davis, so his real name, I don't know what his real name is, but you can buy his books on thetruthhurts.org.uk.ng, and I think most of his books go out for about $26 a pop, but they're flipping. They are the best Illuminati review. They're like the best insider books I've read about the Illuminati. They're great. Check them out. Jim Davis on thetruthhurts.org.me.gov.uk. So initiations, as I said, it requires a blood sacrifice. Many celebrities have done blood sacrifices. Sounds a bit racist. It's not. Have done a lot of blood sacrifices in order to get into the Illuminati. I've got a huge list here. Got a huge list I'm not going to go through all the names because, you know, as I say every week, everyone and their dog is in the Illuminati nowadays, so it would just be ridiculously endless to describe everyone. But I'll go through some notables. Kanye West, everyone knows, big Illuminati man. Who did he sacrifice? His mum. Turns out that Kanye West's mum did not die of natural causes, and it turns out that again, like with Jim Davis and his elderly, his spring stepping grandmother, that there were complications in the hospital that resulted in a death. Kanye West professes that he loves might not be the right word, I don't know. Confesses, that could be a word. Said something about how he loved his mum. However, this is all a ruse because he actually he insisted that it would be his mum to be sacrificed, which is, you know, that's devil incarnate sort of stuff right there. That's very devilish to be, you know, kind of being like, no, I want her, you know. They were shocked. They were like, wow, this is a new level of evil we're dealing with here. We got to bring this young lad on, you know. Not only is he talented and mathy, but he's also got the evil spirit, and that's what they wanted. Who else we got here? We got Damon Dash, Jay-Z's business partner when they owned Rockefeller Records. He was going out with a young Aaliyah at the time, when Aaliyah was alive. If you don't know who Aaliyah is, I very much advise you to check out all of her videos about her being in the Illuminati. They're great. There's one from Cotton On to the Truth YouTube account. I've subscribed to him. He is amazing. He gives these really, really strong videos about how Aaliyah was an Illuminati princess. How she was next in line to be the Illuminati queen. And however, she started getting, you know, cold feet. And Damon Dash, well, he wanted into the Illuminati so he could get closer to Aaliyah, because they were together. It's like on and off. And it turned out when he was trying to get into the Illuminati, some weird thick twist of fate, his blood sacrifice was Aaliyah herself, so it kind of defeated the purpose of getting into the Illuminati. But, you know, he went ahead and did it, because if he didn't, then he would be murdered himself. So he did it, and, you know, she's dead. So thank you very much, Damon Dash. You took away a bright, shining star from the music industry. Nicki Minaj, her cousin, not shot dead, killed by Illuminati ninjas. KRS-One, you might think, hey, this man hates the police, hates all types of government stuff, hates, you know, the white man and stuff. No, he loves them. In fact, his name, KRS-One, doesn't mean what you think it means, knowledge reigns supreme one. No, it means cool. What does it mean again? It means come real suckers. And the suckers mean the rest of the people in the world. So it's actually a term taken from the Illuminati. Come real suckers, one. And one denotes to the one eye, the eye of providence, the all-seeing eye on the back of the dollar bill. He killed his best mate, Scott La Rock, who was not stabbed in wherever he was working. I think he was working in a community centre. He was not stabbed in a community centre. He was actually killed in the hospital via complications. Who else we got here? Ooh, this is an interesting one here. This is an interesting one. Heath Ledger, killed by Mary-Kate and Ashley. Now this is interesting because Mary-Kate and Ashley, they were bred by the Illuminati, and when I say bred, I mean produced in small test tubes to become Illuminati wonder puppets. Now, this is a very specific type of wonder puppet, for the Illuminati. Wonder puppets are basically puppets that are able to mesmerize millions of people just by their single image alone. And I mean, they were very successful for a long time. They were very successful. However, they were halfway. I mean, like, the thing was that because they were bred by the Illuminati, they were owned by the Illuminati. But the Illuminati members, the top occultists, the higher echelons of the group, they started thinking, look, these girls, they just turned 18, the world loves them, however, how do we know they're loyal? Nothing tells us that these ladies will stick to our plan. We only created them in test tubes. How do we know they're going to stay loyal? You know, these other guys, Jay-Z, Damien Dash, John Travolta, they did something in order to prove their loyalty. These two ain't. So what do? Both of the girls at the exact same time were going out with Heath Ledger. However, they weren't telling him that they were going out at the same time. What they were doing, they were swapping. They were swapping dates. They thought it was hilarious, you know. One day, Mary Kate would go out with Heath Ledger to buy an ice cream cone or something. And then the day after, Ashley would go out to the cinema with Heath Ledger. He would be, you know, he was none the wiser, you know. They were identical twins, you know. He didn't care, you know. Same hole in his eye, you know. So anyway, he's idly going through life, you know. His career's going, you know, strength to strength, you know. He played, he was in 10 Things I Hate About You, and then after that he was in Batman Forever, and then you know, his career was looking up, you know. However, at the time he was going out with Mary Kate and Ashley at the same time, but he didn't really know that, and they needed a sacrifice, and lo and behold, they chose Heath Ledger. And he did not die of sleeping pills. He died of complications in the hospital. So, I mean, yeah, really, the list goes on. It really goes on for a long time. There's a long list here. I mean, you've got Michael Jordan, Wyclef, Pitbull, H from Steps, Jermaine Defoe, Mark Ruffalo, Queen Latifah, Jim Jones from Dipset or Diplomats, hip-hop group. You know, it's a lot that have joined the Illuminati and have had to do blood sacrifices. You know, the way I see it, if you see that some celebrities had someone close to them die, then it's most likely a blood sacrifice, you know. No such thing as complications in the hospital, and no such thing as accidental deaths. Don't believe in it. Alright, well, I hope I explored that issue enough. So, yeah, in the news, Illuminati news. Illuminati plan for new Ice Age. What is this I'm hearing? I got this from a very credible source, Mr. Dimovitz, or Mr. X, and he's saying, you know, they're through with you know, it's been a big thing that the Illuminati will drop bombs to initiate the end of the earth. However, they are bored senseless of that idea. It's not as fruitful. So they thought, what's the next best thing they can do? What's the next best thing? So someone came up with the idea. Some clever clogs up in the Illuminati said, you know what we can do? We can create a new Ice Age. There hasn't been a strong Ice Age for the last 10,000 years. No one will see it coming. So, I don't know how they're going to plan it. I don't know how long it will take. But what will probably happen, as they always will do when the end of the world comes, is they will create their own bunkers or exotic resorts. And you know what? Actually, this probably ties in to some other news I was talking about the other day. The water park that they're building in Africa. Well, the Illuminati is also building 600,000 water parks in Africa, a whole network of water parks. That might connect, because they might set the whole rest of the planet in an ice age and just live their days out in Africa. Plenty of minerals, plenty of food, and plenty of water parks to live out the rest of their days. So yeah, watch out for more of that. I'll keep you updated on the ice age that the Illuminati are planning. What else have we got in the news? The Illuminati have officially, and this is official news from the top, the Illuminati have officially invented flying carpets. No more dreaming about Aladdin screwing off around the world with Jasmine. None of that. That is all now completely true. No more dreaming, Mr. Disney. You got your dream. Works. So, it works, your dream. So, flying carpets. What can they do with them? Well, they can always confuse people, I guess, in a war, I guess. I don't know. Why do they need a bloody flying carpet? I mean, blooming hell. You got planes. What do you need a flying carpet for, love? And why a carpet? Why can't it just be a platform? A metal grate or something? I don't know. Carpets. Maybe it's lightweight. I don't know. But they exist now. And it'll be coming to a war near you, I guess. Maybe it ties in with the whole Middle East war. I don't know. But it's another thing. It's another thing. They waste a lot of time and a lot of money. This is how evil these people are. They waste a lot of time and a lot of people's money to invent nonsense. A flying carpet. Why? Why do you don't need it, do you? Doesn't take a brain surgeon. Doesn't take an astrophysicist. Doesn't take a bloody rocket scientist to figure out that is blooming stupid. Anyway. Alright, and moving on. So, continuing from our segment from last week, this time it's debate time. Woo! Alright. So I know last week it was called Debate Mate, but as I said, it was a working name. And so yeah, debate time. This is where we get a question randomly sent in from one of the listeners and we debate it. When I say we, I mean me, because I'm the only one here. And so yeah, this is debate time, formerly known as Debate Mate. And yeah, so this question is well, as I said, no one's really listening to this program, so I've only got one person sending in, and this one again is sent in by my mum. This is from my mum. It says, should seal clubbing be banned worldwide? I don't know what seal clubbing is, but it says, P.S. Can you buy more milk when you're outside, Mum? Okay, alright. We'll do that, Mum. Thank you. I will take some note of that. Okay. Seal clubbing. What is that? I've never heard of that. What is that? Why would seals be clubbing? Huh? Is that what it is? I don't know. My mum's she's a bit funny sometimes. She says some very funny things. I've never heard of seal clubs. What is a seal club? Let me type that in. Look, what the hell? What is a seal club? Oh. Oh my God. What is that? What's he doing? What the bloomin' hell? He hit him in the head. Why'd he do that? Oh my God. These are little seals. Why would you do that? Oh my God. That's disgusting. Oh my God, I've never seen anything like that. Oh my God, that is horrific. That is. Why would you do that to a poor seal? to a poor seal. And here I am thinking it's a discotheque for seals. Why would you do that? That's horrendous. Bloody hell. Well, I just found out what seal clubbing is. When they smack a bloody seal over the head. Why do they do that? Bloody hell. The question was, should seal clubbing be banned worldwide? Well, yes. Why is it even legal anywhere? Why would you want to hit a seal in the head? They can't even fight. They got no hands. They can't kick you. They can't bite. They ain't got big teeth. Why would you do that? They're not a threat. Why? I've never seen a seal in my life. But I know they wouldn't come in and mess with me. Why go out there? Should it be banned? 100 times yes. 1,000,000 times yes. Get rid of the seal clubbers. Get rid of them. Club them. Get a club for the seal clubbers. Bloody hell. That is horrific. Jesus. Well, I mean, if they are a threat, then maybe you should club them. But that's only if. And these very precise rules on if they're a threat. If they are, for example, you're an Eskimo, and a seal comes to your Eskimo hut, to your little, what do you call them, igloo, and it doesn't even knock on the door, jumps belly first into the hut, and flattens the rocks, the igloo ice rocks, so it kills and caves in your son's face, and then it starts raping your wife, then bash it with a bloody club. But only after it's killed your son, not before, mate. You didn't know that was gonna happen. That was just a random thing. They're not known for that, I don't think, for raping women and destroying little boys. Other than that, don't club them. Don't club them. Disgusting. The Illuminati definitely in on that one. The Illuminati definitely in on that one. I mean, anything that's that evil, that is that persistently evil, has to be Illuminati run. Has to be. Has to be. Oh my god damn it. I wouldn't be surprised if JT is one of the lead clubbers on one of those hunts. I wouldn't be surprised. It's so evil. It is so evil. I wouldn't be surprised if he's there. Next to Tom Cruise and Steven Spielberg. I wouldn't be surprised. You need to be really evil to do that. That's disgusting. Anyway, I can't keep going on about that because that is horrendous. So yeah, that's it for this week. I can't do any more of this. This is disgusting. Oh my god, I've lost a lot of faith in humanity just now, lads. I lost a lot of faith. Alright. Anyway, so thank you for listening. My name is Philip Clitz. Catch me on Twitter at Philip Clitz, or the Clitz Conspiracy. Type that into the search engine. I don't know. Follow me on Podomatic as well. You're listening to the podcast now, so if you can't find it, you're a ding dong. Also check out the YouTube channel. I'm releasing videos every week. Got the Clitz Conspiracy News up on there. Got the Clitz Conspiracy blog or vlog. Check out my blog on Blogger, the Clitz Conspiracy. I've got it all popping off at the moment, as JC would say. So if you're down with a homie, please, hit me up, And to my mum, I will go and get that milk as soon as I finish recording this podcast, which is now. See you later, mum.